Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. This is not a donation reward, it is just something I want to do. And I've been looking forward to this movie since I first heard that it was being made. See, this is being made by Bowser Vids, or Bowser Videos, whatever the channel is. It is made and starring him. I believe his last name is Bowser. I can't remember what his first name is. But he is most known on YouTube and the internet for his weird guy videos. Weird Arby's guy, weird Satanist guy, that kind of stuff. He's known for these videos where he goes into like these long rants and just gets really weird and goofy and stuff. And they're really funny. I can't even explain why they're funny, but it's just the randomness, the chaos of it all. He's really good at just ranting about this stuff. And I don't know if those videos are like super scripted or if he actually comes up with a lot of that shit on the fly. But he decided to make a movie with this character. Marcus Trilby, also known as Onyx the Fortuitous, is the main character of this film and is the weird Arby's guy, the weird Satanist guy, the weird guy. So, I don't know too much about this movie, but I do know it has some notable names in it. It has Rivka Reyes, who was in School of Rock. It has, I think it has the guy from, what was he in? Reanimator, I think? Let me check real quick. I've already heard about like a lot of the cast from this, so it's not like a big deal for me to look that up. But oh, that actually came up real quick here. Let's see here. Andrew Bowser is his name, by the way. Jeffrey Combs, who I believe is the guy from from Reanimator. I was right about that. Barbara Crampton is also in it. She's known for horror films and whatnot, such as Reanimator, for example. So another notable name in there. Like I said, Rivka Reyes is in it. And then there's also Terrence C. Carson, who I swear I know from something. Oh yeah, he's the original voice of Kratos from God of War. And he voiced Mace Windu in Star Wars media and stuff. So yeah, Terrence C. Carson or T.C. Carson, he's in this as well. So it has actually some notable names. Not like the most massive of names or anything, but some really notable ones. I've seen the trailer for this a couple times. At least one of the trailers. I think there's a couple of them, but I've seen at least one of them. And the basic gist I get from it is that Marcus inherits a fortune or something. He inherits something. Maybe it's just the castle, I think, that's in the movie. But he has to go there, and then all kinds of supernatural, wild shenanigans happen. So yeah, I don't know like any like huge details outside of that, but I'm very interested to see where this goes, because I again, these are like classic YouTube videos. The weird guy videos are just like amazingly funny. And I've been really excited to see this movie, and I'm hoping that it ends up being really good. I wish I could have reacted to this during October for Halloween and everything, but it wasn't out on streaming then. It only came out on streaming, well, I could say last month now because it's December. Only came out on streaming last month in November. And I think even just late November, too. I think it was actually very recently. But yeah, the instant it came to streaming, it's like I knew I was going to be reacting to it, so here we go. let's just get into this, though, and see what this movie has in store. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this, let's go back to the beginning. September 2013, Andrew Bowser released on his YouTube channel a video simply titled Weird Comic Con Guy. That was the start of Onyx the Fortuitous. At least on YouTube. I don't know if he did anything with the character prior to that, but it was over 10 years ago now. And now he has a movie. And it's really fucking good. Wow. Not only does it continue to capture the style of humor that Andrew Bowser has perfected over all of these years, but it captures the kind of supernatural horror parody genre really well. There's actual stakes in the movie. You actually grow to care about the characters and don't want to see anything bad happen to them. And at the same time, it's goofy, it's ridiculous, it's funny. But you somehow stand behind it because it just somehow feels legit. If that makes any sense. It feels like a real, quality film. That doesn't feel like just something that was put together by a YouTuber. And the funny thing is, it's not the first one of those to come out this year. Because we also had Talk to Me, which was made by a duo of YouTubers. These brothers, I think it is. Who had this channel of doing all these visual effects and stuff. Talk to Me was made by YouTubers. This was made by YouTubers. And both ended up being really damn good. Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls was more than I could have ever hoped it to be. Not only because of having a fantastic cast, but over the past decade, watching those classic Onyx videos that Andrew Bowser would put up on his channel and everything, it's I never expected anything like this to come out of it. I really could never have believed we would get something like this. With as good of a production value as it has, it might not be the best in terms of that, but it's really good, surprisingly good. You could complain oh, but the makeup job, when they're ghouls and all looks stupid and silly. It's that was literally the point. If you look at that and don't think it was supposed to look that dumb, you're missing the point. That was very intentional. That was the joke. It was kind of, it kind of felt and I don't know what the intent was, obviously, but it kind of felt like it was an homage to a lot of classic horror with the style there. I mean, I compared it to, obviously, Tim Burton's work in Beetlejuice, but you could also compare it to, classic zombie films and stuff, where, yeah, zombie makeup could look kind of silly and ridiculous. This kind of reminds me of that. It was, I don't know if that was intentional, but it was definitely intentional that it was supposed to look dumb and silly. Bartok as the main villain was actually very good. I mean, you have a great actor who has history with the genre of horror, who again, I think is actually better here than he was in Reanimator. I think he was just really darn good here. Like, he was good at being both silly and ridiculous and genuinely kind of threatening. Um, and the fact that Ferris kind of ended up being a villain at the end too, in a way, um, and it's being set up as possibly a villain for a sequel with the head of Bartok as her um, slave now. That's interesting as well. Because Ferris, the entire time throughout the movie, especially once it started revealing that she was, Bartok's slave, I was thinking like the entire thing was going to be about her being rescued, and that she was going to end up being thankful to him. But in reality, she just kind of wanted to rule hell and was, psychotic in her own right. And then the fact that they ended up living in like this little like treehouse shack in the woods, while Bartok's mansion is now Onyx's, and him and his friends are just living there now, just all together. And the thing is, there were kids running around. I'm not crazy, right? It's like that would have to have been with like him and Mac, right? Or Z, as he called them, um, because they kissed. Mac kissed Onyx before, acting as a sacrifice to distract the others. So there was very clearly chemistry there in general. So it's like the kids had to be theirs, right? Like, where else would the kids have fucking come from? It's really, really interesting, though. Um, and that would mean that Onyx is no longer the virgin, which would kind of be a fun way to like kind of wrap that up and everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought all the casting was great. I thought the sets and soundtrack were great. A lot of great references in there. I like that they kept referencing An American Tail with Fievel and everything. That's really fun. Even partially started singing the song. And obviously all the references to the Meatloaf song, "I Would Do Anything for Love." Great song. Possibly one of my favorites from Meatloaf. I would have to really look through his catalog to determine that, but yeah. I like the plot. I like the goofiness and silliness. It felt right, and the goofiness, the humor never felt like it was overstaying its welcome. It never felt like it was too much, which could have very easily been the case, especially with the kind of humor that Andrew Bowser does with this character, based on the like videos we've seen before and everything. That can very much end up being an issue, though, when you take something that's very short form in its style and try to like build upon it and make it something bigger. The biggest example I can think of recently was oh, what's it called? Uh, oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared had the series of shorts on YouTube and everything, and they were great. But when they tried to enhance that into a full series of like full length episodes, they had to pad it out so much that the episodes ended up just dragging. The humor ended up being too much for that kind of runtime. It did not work. In my opinion, of course. It did not work for what Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared was. So it's always a kind of a risk doing this kind of thing. Um, But I genuinely think that they pulled it off here. Again, I don't think the humor felt like it was too much. It felt right. It always felt like it was balanced out with actual intimidating scares and stuff. And also some mystery aspects with trying to figure out what was going on. There was the characters who were just charming as hell. Like TC did an amazing job. He was so goddamn charming. I don't think I know him from too much too. That's the funny thing. He's been in other things. It's like I know him as the voice of Kratos and everything, even if I haven't ever played those games. I've seen clips and stuff here and there. Um, but it's like I don't really like know him from a lot of stuff. But he was super charming in this. Rivka Reyes was great. I remember them, like I said in the pre-thoughts um, from School of Rock, and they were fantastic in that as well. Of course, everyone was fantastic in School of Rock. I just adore School of Rock, so to be fair. And yeah, it's just their chemistry, all the characters' chemistry with each other worked out so well. I also like certain decisions that were made, such as the fact that I don't remember her name, but the Queen Lady, she was the first to get got, and she was also the least likable of the group. She was kind of a bitch to the others, basically flaunting her entire past lives connection with Bartok over everybody's heads. Um, yeah, so it makes sense that she would be gone first. And the most likable being Mac, being the last one to go, it makes it so that you learn more and know more about the character enough to where that sacrifice at the end matters, where it means something. It feels earned, and I love that. I just feel like this movie did pretty much everything right. It did everything it needed to do and really, really just made it all work. Like, I am not only surprised, but so happy that this movie was able to be as good as it was. And I hope that there is a sequel. I hope that they are able to make a sequel and that we do continue off of the little hints that we left off on. They could do so much good with this, and I'm excited for the possibilities of that. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think of Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls? Let me know down below, and for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.